Hello and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the horror film and they discuss it. Today we're talking 2006's Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, which was directed by Scott Glasserman. I'm your co-host Alec.
And I'm Eric, and with us again is Matt Banever. Matt, welcome back to the show.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. I am psyched to talk about this movie with you guys.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is officially your fifth year doing this with us too, Matt, which is crazy. Yeah,
Becoming a legacy character.
Is the last
literally.
one we did Halloween,
No,
five?
Scream.
No, I think it was Halloween 5. I think it was
Was it? They were
during.
like
Yeah.
around, they were close.
Yeah, so we
We
had you
did
on
the
for that.
I had the Jason mask on. Remember?
I thought we
Yeah,
did. Oh
That
yeah,
was
we did. Yeah.
you
I
were
was wearing
wearing, yeah,
I was wearing the Scream. That's what
right.
it was.
yeah, that
Yeah.
we're all
Yeah.
messed up. We're
We
all messed
talked
up.
about that girl's legs getting shattered.
Yeah.
That was like a month and change ago, and it feels like a year ago. That's how
Yeah.
long January has been so
Yeah.
far.
Well, welcome back. And today we're talking a movie that you told Eric and I about. You texted us like randomly, like 2 months ago. You're like, guys, Behind the Mask. Have you seen it? And it's like, no.
Yeah.
So, how did you hear about it?
I was shocked when both you guys were like, never seen it, never vaguely might have heard of it. So my girlfriend Haley was like, Matt, we got to watch this movie. And I
Mm.
was like, all right, like, we'll watch whatever movie you bring up. But she says, like, Behind the Mask, the Rise of Leslie Vernon. And so I was like, is it like a rom-com? Is it like a, like, I didn't know what to. She gave me no context about it.
Mm.
So I went in completely raw and I was just like watching it. And, us three being fans of horror, I was just like, oh my God, this movie is amazing. And I was just like blown away how random this movie was. She was like, I don't know how this movie even came to me. I just love it. It just, I don't know how I've never heard of this movie before. And then I immediately texted you guys and I was like, put it on the wheel. We got to watch it.
Well, I'm really
Well,
glad you did because, yeah, I liked it a lot. And anything we can do to bring more attention to this movie because
Yeah.
it's like nobody, because we were 17 when it came out, 16, 17. Like,
Dude, this
why
movie
didn't we know
came
about
out
this?
after The Ring 2.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, and none of us had seen it, heard of it. We like horror, so it's really weird.
yeah, we should have heard about this. Why didn't we
Yeah,
hear about this?
But
I
it
don't know.
did have like a $25 and popsicle budget. Like, it had like,
I don't even think
no,
anyone made money on this bad boy. This was
yeah,
not a money. This was a passion project. Like
yeah,
this was before Kickstarter, just like straight up.
yeah,
They just put
definitely
some
believe
money
it.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had a not like a decent cast, but they had some pretty big cameos in this. I mean,
Yeah.
Huge.
I mean,
yeah.
this is
Huge.
like the definition of like a passion project because like
Yeah.
I tried to like I figured there would be a website or a page dedicated to all the Easter eggs
Mm,
because it's like every scene, every sentence
yeah.
is an homage to this, and I it definitely was. This movie walked so Cabin in the Woods could run type of thing.
Yeah, it's meta. It's definitely like it tries to do like a scary movie slash scream and then does a new thing though. It
Yeah.
doesn't copy. It's like, and we're not doing a like a spoof movie. We're not doing like a horror movie. We're doing a mockumentary. And The Office was big right now, right? Too. So
Yeah.
not that this was Office, but where they sit people down, but it was mockumentary style, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And comedy horror was, I guess, like having a bit of a moment because I mean the scary movies were out in the early 2000s. Shaun of the Dead was 2004. This is 2006, and then Cabin in the Woods comes out I think in 2011 or 12. Duck was it Tucker and Dale versus Evil? That was kind of around then. So like this whole decade had a pretty nice variety of horror comedy.
This was definitely a movie that shot its shot, and it got enough firepower behind it. I mean, the cameos, the ones I saw were Kane Hodder, who played Jason, Zelda Rubinsteiner Steen, she played in Poltergeist, the main like
Tangina.
yeah Tangina, and then Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. That's huge. Those
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
three huge horror icons in one movie.
Yeah. And then you also
So
have Herschel from The Walking Dead. He's
Yeah.
like
right,
the
but
older serial killer.
Walking doesn't
Yeah.
come out for another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, yeah. So it like had a decent cast. I mean, it wasn't terrible. And then this guy, Nathan Bassell or whatever that plays Leslie, this guy's
Yeah.
really good. He's like a
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Juilliard
thought he was
actor.
good.
He just
Yeah.
never went anywhere. He did like three
Yeah.
more movies, and I think he's like producing a reality show now or something like
He
that.
reminds me of the guy from the morning show and the guy who does Creep, that actor, and that
Yeah.
this reminded me of Creep a little bit, how it was shot. Yeah, so
Yeah, have you seen Creep, Matt?
No.
you'd
Okay.
love that. You'd love
Yeah,
that
you probably
too.
like that too. This is definitely funnier and like goes more in depth and stuff like that. But Creep is also like a serial killer hires a guy to come film him as he kind of like explains his life a little bit. But it's different. It's a lot different than this, but
That one's
similar
more
premise.
real. This is more
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah. So this movie is a set up as a mockumentary,
Yeah.
and this girl who's like, she's a student, right? And she's like making a documentary, and she's got two guys with her film cast, and they talk about Michael Myers. They talk about Jason. Like these other slasher killers exist in this
In this
universe.
universe. Yeah,
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 which is so sick. They talk about Elm Street, where this like guy kills people in the dreams. So I loved that setup. Like
Yeah.
that was the thing at first when they said it, but like my jaw hit the floor. I was like, that's such a cool take, you know? And it,
Right.
like,
we're in a world where these people exist now.
yeah.
Like it's
And
not
then
just
it
a movie.
goes and talks about Leslie Vernon, and she interviews this guy who's an aspiring slasher killer. And he's like, basically, all of these legends got made their name on their first big night. And he's
Mm.
like, I'm planning my first big night. And he takes them on everything that goes into making that happen, picking the group of kids, picking the girl, picking everything has to make sense. There's got to be this backstory. There like has to be these side characters. And it was all so beautifully done because you're like, oh yeah, that is a reference to the Jason movies. That's a reference to Michael Myers. I mean, it just completely spells it out in the most meta and really good way about why these like not why these guys do what they do, but like how they do what they do. Like it talks about the slow walking and
Mm.
running. It talks about like the weapons that they use, the escape routes. I mean, just every
Every piece of his area is planned out too.
yeah,
My
I
favorite
like
thing
that.
about that is when he was putting like the flame retardant stuff on him
Yeah,
because
with
I'm
like
like,
preparation H or whatever it was.
yeah,
He's like,
but
this is
like
preparation H because it like brings out the skin or something or stops bleeding.
But dude, if Michael Myers did stuff like this, that would explain how he potentially could have survived being lit on fire and stuff like this. So
yeah,
like, yeah, like I thought that was really cool to get to see the insights of that. And like, what do you even call this movie? Because it's not meta. It's like beyond, it's like living within being meta. It's really
yeah.
weird. I can't
It's a
even.
meta universe of horror movies slash mockumentary spoof. That's the only way to describe it.
You know what it's like, Eric? Return of the Living Dead. They talk about Night of the Living Dead in that movie, and they're like, I think these things are like the thing from that movie, Night of the Living Dead.
No, but the
But
things
that's a
in the
movie. I
movies
know.
exist in this
I
world, which is
know.
cool.
It's like hard
That's
to wrap your head around. Like
Yeah,
Jason
because this
Voorhees
movie
is,
also for three quarters is a mockumentary.
yeah,
Then in the final act switches to cinematic. And
right.
the movie
when they
just
take the
carries out.
mics off, like cut the cameras and then it cuts to cinematic. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that. Yeah,
yeah, which was a
it was cool.
that
That's
was
when
a
the movie
that's a
got really good and
brave.
the payoff was worth it. I'm gonna be honest, I was a little like, let's get it going for a minute, but no, the payoff was worth it.
Well, yeah,
Like
the first person
watching
doesn't
everything.
die for an hour into this movie.
Yeah, it was
You
a
know,
little long,
yeah,
but it
it
wasn't
was like
long.
it did get to a point where you're just kind of like, okay, so like
Get
how
to it.
how does this movie wrap up? You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the payoff was worth it. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
And that's
I
what Halloween is too. Halloween is such a slow build to the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
there's a twist at the end. We'll get to the twist. I mean,
Yep.
I kind of saw it coming a little bit, but
I did not.
you did not. No, I don't know why. I just the way he was talking to the lead girl the whole time, and he's like, "Yeah, she's already been chosen." Like the way he said certain things, I was like, "Is it her?" And then it started making more sense. But anyways,
I
uh,
watched this a couple days ago, and I reread the plot on Wikipedia because that's how I refresh my memory. I missed the final ending, so we'll talk about that too.
I watched that.
It
Yeah.
went to, I got this on Amazon Prime. I went right to credits
Oh
um
yeah, that's the thing
Yeah.
about.
before the whole scene with the morgue at the end. So I missed that.
Well, also, Matt, this movie it's not at all like this, but kind of in the same vein is like In a Violent Nature. Remember that movie we watched? We covered it on this one. Because
Yep.
it's the POV of the killer. So it's
Right.
not the same thing, but it's in that same kind of like you get to see an insight into the killer's life that you probably hadn't seen in a slasher before.
Right. Yeah. I think what I really like, so Leslie Vernon, this main killer guy, he has the most spunky attitude about this. It was kind of like he was auditioning for a big role,
Yeah.
but like the role is to be a mass murderer.
Yeah.
And he's just like talking about like, oh, this is my life's work. He's got this really spry attitude where the girl filming, I think her name is Taylor,
Yep.
and she's kind of like bought into his charm.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, all right, like, is it almost feels like she's kind of like, is this real? Like, is he really going to go through with this? Because the way he's talking about, the perfect example is they're in this van, picking the social group, and he's like, you got to pick a group of friends. There's a hot girl, there's some jocks, then there's some stoners, and he's talking about the way these groups affect the killing. And he's like, stoners are great because they move slow, they're not too smart, they're a great way to pad your numbers. Like
Yeah.
little things like that. You're like, damn, yeah. Those stoners do get wrecked very easily. And
Yeah.
that I loved like those little moments. But so you basically start to see that he's going after this super hot waitress chick and doing things like waiting in the bushes, like kind of creeping her out a little bit, and kind of getting her paranoia up, because that's how it always happens in the movies, where they just hear a bump, they read an article, like these little tiny
Yeah,
things.
he learns about her routine, about the brick and the door, and
Yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah, ties things to it. And then he talks about, I really did love just his attitude towards being a slasher. It was like this, he kept calling it his life's work, and
Well,
like
he
showing.
cries. He
Yeah,
cries and he's just like, this is like Christmas for me. And he's like
yeah,
crying. Dude, he's so excited. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. And then the scene in the library, what do you guys think about that?
Okay. So
With
here's
Zelda?
yeah. So this is where this loses me a little bit, the movie here. So he kills Zelda Rubinstein. He kills
Yeah,
her, right? Okay.
That's the first kill, I think, in the movie. Is the first kill?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Why? Sorry, go ahead. Go.
no, 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 go ahead, go ahead.
Why is Taylor and the crew not bothered by that, but then they're bothered by the teens getting killed? I was like, he murdered this like 70-year-old lady,
Yeah,
and they're like, okay, like he's fine. He's just having
yeah,
fun. And then all of a
I
sudden
mean, did he? I mean, she kind of just fell over. I don't remember him really getting her. So
it was weird. He had like the sight, he like did something and she just like falls over. So I'm like,
yeah,
okay, he killed her. And then
yeah.
that
It definitely was like a not great shot.
yeah.
Because at the same time, you get Doc coming in, Doc Halloran comes in, and
Robert
like
Englund,
this
yep.
is done, and it was like a chaotic moment. But what was really cool about that is they get to the library. Leslie and the film crew get to the library, and the hot girl's like looking through old papers, and he leaves clues out for her to find, and he's like, this is what's going to happen, she's going to pick this up, and the librarian's going to say something like,
Yeah.
oh, that was a long time
Yeah.
ago, and it happens. So, and he's like behind a bookcase, like listening to it play out. So again, that POV, the audience is watching this happen from a totally different side. He's sitting there like rubbing his hands, he's all psyched,
Yeah.
oh,
He's
it's
like, this is gonna
happening.
be super awesome when
Yeah,
I make
and
this
it's like
kill.
yeah, you do wonder, like these guys, like Michael Myers and Jason, like what are they doing in those moments?
Oh, this kill's gonna be
Clearly just
so
behind a door.
awesome.
Yeah, they're just behind a door. Like, are they just kind of like
It's
waiting for the
sick.
right
It's
moment?
sick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it does add so much. It's like Cabin in the Woods. Like you do think of horror movies differently after seeing this, and you're like, because a character we haven't really touched upon yet, is I think his name. What the hell is his name? The older guy, Herschel from The Walking Dead.
Not yet. Stick with the library for
Oh,
now.
okay, all right,
Because
fine.
we learned a
So
couple things. There's an urban legend about Leslie Vernon.
yeah.
yeah,
Was
We'll get into
some
that, Eric.
kid or something that killed, this is what we learned about in the library. He killed his family. The townsfolk killed him. He was eaten alive by turtles, I think they said, or something, or like picked apart by turtles,
Yeah,
something like that. That's what Zelda said. Um, and then I think the hot girl waitress was like, I'm related to him somehow, or something like
it's
that,
like her
right? Too.
uncle.
yeah,
Yeah, so he's placing those newspapers out for her to figure this out, which might not be true, and it's not true, we learn next. Um, and he's literally behind the books now, like, yes, she got the clue that she's related to Leslie Vernon, and like it was just crazy. But then Zelda dies, Robert Englund comes out, shoots, and I think he actually hits him. Right, he
he
got hit in
did.
the shoulder.
Yeah, he said he's
And
running
they
bulletproof.
run out with the camera crew, and the camera crew's like celebrating, like, yeah, like we got our Ahab. It's like, what? What's an Ahab? It's like we got like
Yeah,
the guy like coming after me. Like we
yeah.
got the white whale guy.
I
Yeah,
love
So I thought
that.
that was really funny. It's like, yeah, I got my Ahab. I got my like Dr. Loomis. I got my, I got the guy who knows who I am. But
Yeah,
really,
I,
like I think next scene, right? Like the Doctor Robert Englund character is telling the film crew, like, no, this is not Leslie Vernon. This is like another guy like Leslie M something, and he's crazy, and he's doing this because he's crazy. He's a man.
yeah, yeah. So the Leslie Vernon guy, he finds out about this legend about a boy getting killed, and then he's from like Reno, Nevada. He
Yeah,
comes to
yeah.
this small town, adopts this backstory
mm,
so that he can become the killer, which is
yeah.
what you.
I also didn't love that both of them were named Leslie though. I'm
That
like,
was the one. I wish it was
that's
just like your name's Mike McDaniels. What are you doing,
Yeah,
dude? Like, or
it's
like I
exactly.
don't
just
know anything.
so it's too convenient that they both be named Leslie, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I did love though too, as you were saying earlier, Matt, like the nods from all these other horror movies. Robert Englund's character is named Doc. What was it, Doc Halloran?
Hollering or something.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's for Stephen King. That's Doc
yeah.
from
Yep.
and all right, so I picked this up.
Doctor
So
Sleep, kind
Yeah.
of.
well, no,
No,
it's
not really.
Doc because that's the kid's nickname in The Shining. They call him Doc, and then Halloran
Right.
is Dick Halloran, the character in The Shining who shows up at the end and gets stabbed immediately, just like this. Robert Englund shows up and they hit him in the head the second he shows up with the shovel. So I was like, oh, that's right out of The Shining. Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Um,
didn't catch that.
he
Good
looks
call.
exactly like Donald Pleasance too. They like clearly made
Well, they
him.
gave him the like the brown trench coat and
Yeah,
everything, and the
Oh yeah, yeah.
gun.
It's straight up him. And just because we're throwing out a lot, the guy who plays Doc Halloran is played by the guy who plays Freddy Krueger.
right.
Yeah, Robert Englund, man.
Yeah.
We said that.
Yeah.
Um,
Those who don't aren't.
Yeah, not everybody. Well, Eric, just want to jump back to the beginning super quick and ask you if you notice this. So when they're going from town to town, they're in Springwood and they're talking about Freddy Krueger, then they go to Haddonfield, they're talking about Michael Myers. Dude, there's a part when they go to Springwood and Kane Hodder is living
Yeah,
at the
he's
house.
throwing out his trash or something.
Dude, there's a shot where it literally shows something from Halloween during that. They showed the scene where Michael's like comes out of the bush. They showed that during the Springwood part. And I was like, wait, it's not right. That's supposed to be Haddonfield. But they like mixed up the town. Anyways, I feel like if you're like a
Smells
super
like a low
duper
budget. Yeah.
crazy horror fan, you know that bush from Halloween where Michael pokes his head out, and they showed that same bush. It's in Pasadena, and they
Yeah.
showed that same bush, but they were showing it as if it were in Springwood, Ohio. And I was like,
I don't know how they made this film and got all these actors to be in it, but I guarantee it had to be like, hey, they're all going to be in town for a convention. They're all going to be here.
Well, Eric,
Like,
it's the same thing with Hatchet. Hatchet had Kane Hodder
Kane
and
Hodder,
Robert
yeah.
Englund and Tony Todd, and that was, relatively low budget. Have you seen Hatchet, Matt?
Hatchet 2.
Okay.
We
Oh
did
yeah.
have.
I
Oh
like
yeah, we
Hatchet
did
2
it. Oh,
better.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that kind of the Hatchet and this kind of remind me a little bit because they came out like the same time a little bit, and they're
Yeah.
both talking about like a new slasher villain, and this is kind of a new slasher villain.
Like an
This
ensemble
is
horror cast too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing from just like a film perspective, it's crazy that these movies came out around that time because they look like they came out in 1986,
Mm.
even though they came out in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, I know
Well, well,
nowadays. Yeah.
well, up until it switches back to cinematic. And when it goes cinematic, it felt like a huge jump into the times
Well,
because it
Yeah.
goes from like the camera crew to a real, actual nice camera.
well, that
Yeah.
was filmed too. It was filmed
Yeah.
on film. You could see the like the squiggles and stuff. But yeah, no. I was curious what you guys, Eric, you watched a little bit of Dexter. Have you seen Dexter, Matt?
No.
I
I've
saw the whole first season and most of the second season. I just kind of got turned off. I don't know what did it to me.
I just feel like this movie t didn't take things from that, but it's about a serial killer and learning about like following him as if he's the good guy, basically. And he does have a code. He only kills bad people, sort of thing. And this Leslie Vernon's like, no, I'm killing like teenagers and virgins and all this stuff. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
But that show was so popular when this movie came out. So I'm like, I bet this was part of the pitch. Be like, you guys like Dexter, right? Dexter's huge right now, right? Oh, we should make a
Uh,
movie kind of like Dexter, but more horror naughty, you know?
that's a good
Do
call
you know what
because
movie this reminded me of? It's not horror at all. Is Bruno and how they like follow like a wannabe model around. Like that movie's nuts, but it's hilarious. But it kind of reminded me of like the jokes they were doing. Like I'm a model, of course I'm gonna not eat carbs, and I don't know. But it had moment. It reminded me of Bruno, Creep, and a few other movies. But yeah, that's
more
another good
about
one,
the
Alec.
lifestyle rather than so what it talks a lot about in this movie is that these killers aren't just killing, it's ritualistic. Like
Mm,
the killing itself actually means something. It means something to them. Like I got my first stoner, like I've got my my survivor girl, like I've
Mm.
got my Ahab. Like there are these things that make you a good killer. And it's having these it's not just body count. You have to have somebody who wants to like hunt you down with
mm,
every fiber of their being. You have to have you can't just kill random individual people. It needs to be like a group where you kind of like herd them and kill them individually. Like there's a setup to this whole madness, and then it goes back to back in the movie, there's like a Joseph Campbell kind of reference to an the elder, like the teacher person. So
right.
Leslie Vernon has
That's when Herschel comes in, or
yeah,
what's his
has
name?
this mentor.
It's gonna drive me crazy. I know his name.
Eugene.
It's like something White or
Well,
something.
his name is Scott Wilson, but
Scott Wilson.
yeah.
Knew it was a W. Knew it was a W.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
go to his house.
yeah, and that I loved all of that because yeah, he's like the guy that's done it before. And correct me if I'm wrong, but his wife is his final girl,
Final
right?
girl. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so this guy is like, Leslie's mentor who's been through it all. He was doing it back in the 70s. He's talking about how like before Jason, Freddie, and Michael, like, there were strings of things, but these guys turned into an art form. And they like
That's
talk about,
yeah, stuff like that. That was just like this movie's sick.
yeah,
It's like those little nods.
it
And then
really is.
in that
It's
house, there
stupid
were
though too.
yeah,
Or
in those
sorry, you go. You
in
go.
that house there were like a couple little props. So there was I got it pulled up. There was
The Hellraiser box. I
the
saw that.
Yeah, I
Hellraiser
saw that. I
box was
caught that.
there, and then the Red Rabbit pub
Mm-hmm.
was a reference to the matchbook.
Yep,
Oh,
from
right from
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like just like little things like that just show that the
It's a
writer
passion project. It's a
like
passion project.
they care,
Yeah. Yeah.
just putting those little things in there. So that's where you learn a lot more about what this whole thing has been, how this whole thing has been leading up long before the film crew comes in. He's been under this mentorship and he's really been kind of like learning the ropes.
I love the introduction when they're introducing him and they dig him up
That's what I
and
was gonna
he's
say.
like,
When you
"How long
meet the
you?"
mentor, he's like in this like box. They have to dig him out of the earth, and it's all about like meditation, about
It's
like
like, when do we put you in here? Monday? It's like, shit, it's Thursday. You've been in here for 3 days. I need that. I could use 3 days in a box. That'd be nice.
It's a sensory
Sleep,
deprivation
sleep.
tank, and they're
Yeah.
using it so that he can slow his heart rate down. You can learn how to like, you know, survive without surviving, appearing to be dead, like things like these killers do, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
um my favorite line in the movie is when they are walking up to that house though, and Leslie Vernon is just like, "Yes, we're gonna meet Eugene. He's like the master. He's awesome, and we're gonna meet his wife, and she's so hot." And then like the
I know, I
torch,
love
and
that.
I
I
was
love
like that just came out. I feel like that was improvised, and I feel like he has a crush on that actress
There's
who just like,
so many lines. My favorite line of this might be when like it's kind of off camera, like he's like showing the house and all like the tricks he's doing. He's like, and this is gonna scare the poop out of them or something like that. Like imagine a scene like Michael Myers saying, like, "Oh, I'm gonna scare the poop out of them with this." It's so stupid, but I love it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But did you notice also the car outside of the mentor's house,
Evil
was
Dead.
a Evil Dead car?
Oh, I didn't catch
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's so many little things
yeah.
in that.
yeah, yeah. No,
And
they really. I mean, sure, there's things we're missing too, but it's yeah, it's incredible, and they get to, oh my gosh, what was I gonna say? They get to the part, yeah, so they're at the house or whatever with Eugene and they're, learning about it and they're all excited. And now he's got his final girl, which they call a survivor girl for some reason. I
yeah.
don't know why they did that, but
Yeah.
yeah, so he's got a survivor girl picked out. He knows the night he's gonna strike, he knows the location he's gonna strike. The film crew is still all on his side, even though he killed Zelda Rubinstein. I don't understand that, but whatever. They're all on his side still. And I love the two film dudes. I thought they were like funny. They like Leslie, like they're making
Yeah.
jokes with him the whole time. They kind of like him. It's like Dexter, where it's like I like a killer. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. And I feel like that's so valuable at the end when he does turn on all of them. And it's like, dude, these guys were like your kind of
Your
friends.
bros. They were
It's like
your
nothing
bros. Yeah.
matters. This is all that
Yeah.
matters is
It
doing
was
it.
all part of his plan. It was all part of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, it's stuff like that that reminds me of even in the Rob Zombie Halloween when Michael Myers kills Danny Trejo and he's
Oh
like,
yeah,
Mikey, I've
Yeah.
looked after you for 20 years,
yeah,
Mikey, and he just like rips him apart.
yeah.
It's that.
It is exactly that. Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure in the Rob Zombie Michael Myers, he was like planning this night. I mean, even in the original one, yeah, he's like he looked through the wall. He was just thinking about this night, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I
Yeah,
gave you peppermints for 30 years. Like, why are you killing me, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
But there is that point where the Doc Halloran character talks to the film crew and is like, he's not who he seems, like he's this other guy. They find out a little bit more of the truth, and the journalist Taylor does have some second thoughts, and she's like, this is
this took a turn. Yeah.
possibly going a little too far. I thought he was just kind of like charismatic and interesting. Yeah, he did kill the librarian, but like, you know, she definitely, I thought it was a good subplot that she really struggles with like journalistic integrity. When do I get involved? And
Mm.
she does have some doubts, and she does try to warn the waitress, like, hey, this is kind of something going on, and Doc Halloran intervenes, and then Leslie Vernon was like, strangles her basically outside the car and is like, you're not gonna mess up my life's work. And you start to see that killer side of him come out, because up until
Mm.
then it's been this very charismatic
Well, he
guy
like chokes her
we're
out
all
too,
bought into.
like against the car. He's like choking
Yeah,
her out and like,
exactly. And then she's like, all right, no, I'm in, let's see it through, and then they go to the house, and I will say that this is the one part that kind of killed me, is when he plays out how it's all going to happen,
Hmm.
and they kind of do like you as the viewer, he says, all right, and then I'm gonna kill the horny couple having sex, and I'm gonna kill this, and you see it happen, like they're actually acting it out, and then it rewinds, and then it goes back and forth, and that was the only part that I was just kind of like, it's getting a little sloppy.
yeah. I hated the rewind. I hated that so much. It's like, like, how did we get here? Like,
that was about the
it,
time I was like, all right, let's wrap it up. Let's find
Yeah,
a way to conclude this.
because it was like, it did feel like, okay, how is this movie actually going to end? Like where are we going with this?
Yeah, this better be a little worth it, and
But
it
I
was.
think it was. I think the payoff at the end was good, especially if you didn't see it coming from a mile away. So we'll just spoil it really quick. The final girl that he's been stalking the whole time is not actually the final girl. The real final girl is Taylor, the journalist. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great twist because you would be asking yourself, and I was asking myself, I'm like, why would he ever let people film him do this? Like, he's trying to become this like super legend killer. You don't want to have all this evidence, sort of thing. Like, I'm like, well, he's probably gonna kill them, but for it to be, oh, I invited you specifically because I've been watching you, and it's like, and so every domino falls perfectly. He's like, ha ha ha, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he tells him, he's like, all right, you know what, you guys aren't cool with it because he kills two teens, and they start freaking out. The film crew, they're like, this isn't cool, like holy shit. So he's like, get out of here. Like, I figured you guys were gonna lose your mind. So like, there's the door, go. Like, here's your get in your car and get out of here, sort of thing. And that's when they're like, nah, we're not. We're gonna ruin this for him, sort of thing.
And
And
that's when it cuts to
yeah,
cinematic.
and the
Yep.
movie totally changes. You see her taking her lavalier mic off, and it goes to regular movie. And that's when you finally get to see the two dudes for the first time, the two
Yeah.
camera guys, and they're like not what I expected them to look like at
Yeah, no,
all.
they really weren't. They really weren't.
Like
Uh,
they weren't, but they were perfect.
It was like Jay and
yeah,
Silent Bob in some ways. Like, I don't
I
know.
thought the fat guy was funny.
Yeah.
I liked his character a lot. I liked
His
both of
death
them.
was probably like the best because
Yeah,
you get so attached to him through the back commentary, kind of like TJ Miller in
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield,
yeah,
yeah.
Cloverfield.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that you get attached to that back
And
end.
once in a while he turns the camera on and like cleans it off. He's like, I'm doing
Yeah.
okay. Like
Yeah, exactly.
but we didn't
So
even get that in this movie. We never see this
no, we never
guy,
see him. Yeah.
even like reflections or other cameras, like
But
nothing. And then all
it's
of a
like
sudden,
funny for the review. Like, what are you expecting? Like Brad Pitt to be
yeah.
behind the camera?
no,
Like these
it's
guys are cool. They're just
Yeah, but
yeah.
they're
dudes.
not just like the office camera people. Like Leslie Vernon, like talks to them, does magic tricks with them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
they're very involved. The whole like visually, he keeps looking at them, like looking at Taylor. Like
yeah.
they're very involved in like that they're people behind the cameras. It's not just like a
Well, there's
camera.
even that one line where they're doing an interview, and one of the guys asks a question. It's like, actually, Taylor, we should probably get you asking that question, sort of thing. Like, I thought moments like that added a lot. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, just humanizing it
yeah,
from a film perspective of humanizing it makes it realize like, oh yeah, this is a human who's actually planning to kill all these people.
yeah,
Just like that
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
like unedited footage, but it's edited, you know,
yeah.
kind of.
I There was a deleted scene in this actually, just to go back a little bit, where they're at the house and they talk about it's during the scene where Leslie's like working out and he's like, dude, it's hard like keeping up with these kids, and you gotta, they're running at full speed and then you're walking.
And they're football
There's a
jocks. You
deleted
got to keep up with
scene.
the jocks. Like,
Yeah, there's a deleted scene where Taylor's running and he's walking behind her, and it's kind of like a red light, green light. She looks behind. Every time she looks ahead, he like falls into a full sprint, and then like
yeah,
turns around. He's like walking all slow. And it's like those little things. That was a cool. I watched that on YouTube. But the house setup. So Leslie Vernon has set up the whole house and the property as basically a murder den. So every branch outside of a window, he's like cut a little bit. Like it's a fully rigged game, which they talk about. They're like, how is this fair? Like you're rigging all of this. There's obviously a tool shed with everything
yeah,
that
I
they
love it. It's like I
use.
hope that they grab these first ones because I didn't do
Yeah.
every tool because I don't have time. And then he's
Yeah.
like, I sawed off the thing, so if after one hit it's broken, so I better not get hit the first time. And then
Yeah.
he's like, and then what was the other thing? Like the sledgehammer, and it's like the thing just falls off, and it's
Yeah.
like I set this all up. So
Yeah.
these weapons are good up front.
Yeah.
Those could kill me. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Loved
stuff like that just made it like cutesy. I don't know.
loved that setup. So when it actually goes down, they know all that is there. They know the branches, they
yeah.
know the tools, but still people get killed throughout it. You do get to see, because the whole final girl setup, like when they were
The
talking
Apple
about
Mill.
the hot waitress, how she's the virgin, and that's like a big thing in these movies. They talk about that in Cabin in the Woods. Then they walk in on her just like riding
Yeah,
this
they fully
guy.
showed that. Like it's like,
Yeah,
oh, she is not a virgin. Okay, like
yeah.
clear as
That was
day. There's
That was
no
when I,
ambiguity.
yeah, that's when I clocked it that she's not the final girl, but I didn't clock it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so at this point then the film crew is like, screw this, we're screwing up his plan. But yeah, the whole house is rigged. And I guess like in a weird way, he knows that he's rigged the house for the unsuspecting teens, but he's given away his whole plan to the other three. So at least I mean, at least what they think they know. So they have a little bit of an upper hand in that situation. They're like, don't go to the basement, don't do this sort of thing. But the one, like the bigger guy, he's like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna sacrifice myself. Like, I'm gonna run because you guys, like, he's gonna,
Well, he learned from Herschel. Remember what he said? The guy
yeah,
Wilson who said
Yeah.
he said what's the tricks to surviving a serial killer? One, run for the sun and don't stop, don't look back, right?
yeah,
Wasn't that like this one rule?
yeah,
Number two, don't split up and hope that you're not the fat one of the group.
Yeah.
Like or something like
Yeah.
yeah.
that.
And that guy took it literally. So he's like, screw it, I'm gonna run,
This
then
is
I'll
me.
sacrifice
I gotta
myself.
take this guy away. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, like you were saying, Matt, I think this is probably my favorite, maybe even favorite part of the movie. But like, he eventually, the fat guy, like trips in the field, and then Leslie gets on top of him, and he's like, "Dude, like you're not actually gonna do this, right? Like it's me. Like, what are you doing? Like
Leslie, he takes his mask off too, and
yeah."
he's
He's
like,
like, "Look
Leslie,
at
what are you
me, like
doing?
yeah,"
Yeah.
and he's just like, and he doesn't care, and he just kills him, and I was like, "No way!" So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, at that moment you're like, damn, this is legit.
Method
Messed
acting.
up. It's
And
really
then he
messed
just
up when you
goes.
think about it.
This was also great too. I like forgot about this. I rewatched a recap on YouTube, but Leslie cuts the tree branch a little bit. So
Yeah, Matt mentioned
when
that.
yeah, oh, you did. Okay, so when the hot girl goes and it snaps, like that's why she died. Because I was like, that's kind of stupid that she just dies
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that
But
was a weak death.
yeah, but then when I watched the recap, I was like, oh, I forgot he cut that intentionally for that to happen when they,
Yeah.
so that made
But
sense.
it's funny. It's like he's a lazy serial killer, like we mentioned. Like he only did the front tools, but he also mentioned he only did like a couple of the first branches. He's like, I'm not gonna do the whole tree,
Yeah.
like kind of thing. He's like, I only did like the first like few branches because it's all you need. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like what he said. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just think it's just funny that he's like a kind of like a half-ass serial killer, really.
Yeah. But there is that thing where um I think Taylor asks like, well, why don't you do anything to the windows on the first floor? And he was like, I don't know. They never jump out of the first floor windows. He was just like, they always try to
It's like
jump out of the
Spinal
second
Tap too,
floor
man. It's like
window.
Spinal Tap. It's like these go up to 11, like the
Yeah.
speakers. He's like, why don't you just make them go up to 10? It's like, well, these go up to 11. And, like
Yeah.
no one jumps out that window.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So, like, well, yes, he may be like, all right, I'm not going to cut all the branches. There are things in just in the panic of the moment, you're not going to jump out of a first floor window. You're going to try to get to the second floor and jump out that window for whatever reason. That's just like in horror lore. And
Yeah.
then and then they get to the barn, and that's
right.
where the final showdown is.
Yeah. So all the
Yeah.
teens are killed now at this point, basically.
Yeah.
There's a couple hot girls that, this one girl's like, tell me how I'm gonna die and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But everybody gets murdered different ways.
Yeah.
So now it's just, uh, what's his name? Oh my God. Robert England, Taylor, the lead girl, and then the skinny mustached cameraman. And they're the only three that are left. But the skinny cameraman guy smashes Robert England in the head with a
Yes.
shovel the second he arrives. So he's out.
Yeah.
Then Leslie,
I thought that was so. I was like, is that like how we're gonna kill Robert Englund in this movie? Like, I
So I
hated
loved it.
that.
I
but
loved it.
it's the same thing when he took the skinny mustache kid and just slammed his head into the wall and didn't kill him. I was like, all right, he's gonna come back. Like that's
Yeah.
why he didn't.
That was like the most like almost like AI wrote that. Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was just like this is so you just know where this is gonna go. Like if this, then that type of thing.
He should have stabbed him at least, like
Right.
something to at least make you think like maybe he died. Like I don't know,
He
but
just
yeah,
hits his head, right?
he just smacked his head to the
Yeah.
wall and he fell over and he's like, well, I'll leave him for later. I'm sure he won't come back and stop me. And then
And
just
then
like
I may have like blacked out at this part, but like the next thing I remember is his head getting crushed by the apple thing,
he chases
right?
Taylor and then they get
Yeah.
into another barn area and basically she like maneuvers his head into there, which I'm like, I don't think this
Yeah, I don't really remember how that happened and how we
I
got to A to B.
she like
He clearly like over
He showed her that. like a few times
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
earlier. Like this is my favorite. This is how the apples get crushed. And he's
yeah. He clearly like overpowers her, and then she just kind of like, nope, and
Yeah.
just like pushes his head into the apple crusher.
and just
Right.
slowly turns this thing to just slowly crush his head. And what was the last words? Like you are the final girl
He's
or
like, I
something
knew
like
you were
that. It
the
was
one. Yeah.
you're the girl or something like that, right?
I think it was I knew you're the one, I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. And then his
I
head
gotta
gets
look at what the
crushed,
line was.
but it doesn't like really get crushed. But it gets crushed. I mean, I wouldn't want that, but not like it doesn't get
Oh,
like
I mean, she didn't even
flattened.
do it fully. Like he's still alive at that
Yeah.
point. It's like, dude, give him a quick couple turns and end it for him. Like that's
Right. Yeah.
painful.
She just gives it like
Uh,
one big kind
Yeah.
of twist and then lights it
yeah,
up.
and the barn catches on fire with him inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She walks out, and then
And
the
then Robert
one
England.
skinny
Yeah, they're
and the
there.
skinny camera guy,
Yeah.
and Robert England says, "He's just a man. He's just a man. He's just a freaking. He's guy from Nevada. Like he's not a serial killer. He's not gonna come back from the dead." Which I like. It's like the opposite of Halloween, where it's like he's the boogeyman. He's like, no, this guy's not the fucking boogeyman. He
Yeah.
is
This
just a
guy's sucked.
dude from Nevada.
But he does survive.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
I didn't
wearing
see that when I finished it.
he's
Yeah.
got the flame retardant stuff on him, so I'm assuming that helped a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, well, what happens is, all right, so the movie ends, credits roll, and then you get security footage of the morgue. And it's just literally black and white security footage. And it's the guy playing the mortician is
Kane
another,
Hodder.
yep.
Yeah.
And then you see Leslie Vernon, he's in like the black bag and he just sits up and then it ends.
And Psycho
See, I
Killer.
should ask for my money back from Amazon. I should be like write to Jeff Bezos and be like, "Hey, I want my 3.99 plus tax back."
Yeah, I didn't see
I
that.
did not
All
see the
kinds
full
of
movie. I
disappointment.
rented the full movie. I only saw it because then it was just like watch Paw Patrol like at the bottom of
I've
the
had that
screen.
happen before on Amazon where
That's the
there's
first
stuff
time I can
happening
think of.
in there's like other movies where you see like stuff in the credits and I have to like fight the continue and end because I
Yeah.
want to watch what's going on in the credits.
You want to see like Leslie Vernon will be back in Avengers Doomsday. You
Yeah.
want to see that. But no,
But
I missed it.
That
Because
was
of
yeah,
that.
I mean, it's interesting. He just sits up. He doesn't kill Kane Hodder or anything. He just
Yeah.
sits up and it's over. But
Well, good
all
luck
right,
killing Kane Hodder.
let me ask you guys though, what do we think of the mask?
I mean, it was unique. Give it that.
I
Like,
grew to like it. In the beginning, I was like, all right, this is a little like childish, but I did grow to like it. And I think it went well with the rest of what he wore, which was basically a torn up thermal overalls, no shoes. So it was very much like homemade, you know.
I think they were trying to go with the scarecrow approach, and they mentioned scarecrow in a couple times throughout the movie, especially
But he
with I
did
think the
that
skinny
thing like outside the window also.
that and it's a scarecrow thing, and that's why it's a
Oh,
scythe or whatever, because
I
that's
thought
like a
that was like
fielding.
the Jesus pose. I thought that was what he was
No,
doing.
I thought it was a scarecrow because remember the stoner goes into the barn like, oh, check out this scarecrow, but like it doesn't
Yeah.
really look like a scarecrow. So maybe if they made it more like, hey, I don't know,
Dude, you know what it
without
looked
like,
like to me? I don't know if you guys are gonna know this, but there's a video. It's like a woman giving birth, but she had to wear a Chewbacca mask because her like
all right,
husband,
yeah, I know
like
exactly, and she's
Yeah.
laughing, and the
that's what
thing's
it
making
looked
noise.
like.
Yeah.
It looked like that, but not painted like Chewbacca.
I mean, clearly not scary. Clearly, there's no scare value there, really.
Yeah, I mean, like it, I don't know, but I also didn't feel like that was what he was going for. Like, you're not supposed to be scared of him in the way that when you see Freddy Krueger, you're scared. You're supposed to be more like scared of here's this crazy guy.
Mm.
All of it put together is what's scary.
Mike from Nevada, like what,
Yeah.
like it's not. Like, what's he
Yeah.
wearing?
I wasn't a huge fan of it. Like when I first saw it, especially in the library, I was like, all right. But that was like kind of like all right. I actually did hope that the mask was going to evolve over the movie.
Mm,
Melt a
And that
little or something.
I had that
Yeah.
thought, like because he had the mentor, because he was working toward things. So maybe he like, and it did for his outfit. Like he did have like a final kill outfit. He was like, I gotta go
Mm.
get changed, and he was doing the makeup and everything. So I did think that the master's going to change, but it didn't. But
But
yeah,
it's
that,
it
that
is funny. Like you think about it, like all those characters, Jason, not Freddy really. Freddy's more burnt, but like Jason, like he has eye black on. If you look underneath his mask, that's eye black. If you look
yeah,
under Michael Myers' mask, that's eye black. And like they have to be putting makeup on.
like
Like
Batman.
Batman. It's a
Yeah,
yeah,
beautiful.
Batman. Uh, well, unfortunately, I don't think there's ever probably going to be a sequel to this. It didn't make a lot of money,
there
and I
is.
there's not.
In
There's
no
not.
world is there going to be a sequel.
No, no, no.
Can
So
someone Google it? I thought I
look it up,
read.
but I watched a video on why there isn't a sequel. So if there is, that video is completely wrong. But basically, the movie, yeah, that's a comic book. So look it up. Look it up more. It's
Ah,
yeah. So what
was it
they
a movie or comic book?
Yeah, they
yeah.
made a
Is the
graphic
director?
novel.
Is the director in a comic book
Well,
as
I'll
well?
explain it. I'm going to explain it. So, what happened was they wanted to make a sequel. It didn't make a lot of money. So, they're like, we have a plan as long as we can get it made in the next like 5 or 6 years because we want it to take place the year after and we can't have these characters old or whatever. They did a Kickstarter. It didn't make enough money. So they had to give all the money back. And then in 2018, they're like, well, listen, we got this script. It's too late. We can't make the movie now. Like Nathan Basil's too old. Like it just won't work or whatever. So
Interesting.
they then
Okay.
made a graphic novel series and then yeah, that's what it was. So like I kind of like that though. Like if a movie has a fan base, is a cult classic or whatever, but they can't make another movie, do it that way. Like if you've got the story and you're like we really feel like this is good, we just can't afford to make another movie. I think that's a pretty good route to go.
Yeah, and
Huh.
also like I do kind of like that this movie doesn't have a sequel because
Yeah.
of what it was. It was like a like it can't just go on being this meta mockumentary style. Like it would just that would kind of like water the whole thing down. It was cool to get a one kind of peek behind the curtain,
Mm.
and that's
I want one
Well,
more
this is
though,
this.
because what they could do with the sequel, like making fun of sequels, is like, listen, the first one, that's easy. The second one is where the shit hits the fan. Like,
yeah,
look at Jason. It's like he was a boy in the first one, he's a man in the second one. They can like talk about like what it takes after your first one, sort of thing.
yeah,
I think it'd be funny. The only way I could picture them doing this is if like he becomes a horror icon, like an Art the Clown or a like and people are in the movie theater and he's in the movie theater like all happy and just giddy. That everyone's wearing like his shirt and stuff, and he's just like, "Yep,
yeah,
that's me." Like,
yeah.
and that's all he is. He's not killing anyone. He's just like, "Yep." He goes to like he goes to Hollywood Horror Nights and just like enjoys like the Leslie Vernon
Oh
area.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
they
like,
could
"Oh,
have done something like
this is
that.
good. This is good. Like that's pretty accurate." I don't know. It could be fun.
Yeah, but I think that this was such a good
This is a
uh,
ride.
um hole. What's another term for hole in the wall? Like a slept
Diamond in the
on
rough. Diamond in
diamond
the
in the
rough.
rough. That's what this
Yeah.
movie was.
Yeah.
A beautifully just it was so cool for what it was. You had to be such a specific fan to enjoy it,
Yeah.
which I thought was so interesting because I don't think Haley has seen any of the other slasher movies. I was like, what? Do you even know
That
what this
makes no
movie's
sense.
about? Yeah.
It's like you would
Yeah.
appreciate this on such a deeper level if you
That's like
like.
me. That's like me taking Alec to Avengers Doomsday, and he's like, I have no idea who the fuck Ant-Man is or
Yeah,
anything. Like,
exactly.
And then I
Yeah.
love it and I tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like you have to
So
see
like,
this
you guys
movie. It
gotta
makes
check
so
out this
much sense.
Avengers
It
thing.
makes so much sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
All
These
the
Avengers movies are
cameos.
gonna be big.
Yeah, but no, if you like horror, especially 80s slasher movies, like, and you haven't seen this, you have to see this movie.
Yeah.
It's
I agree. This might be a new like must-watch horror
A
fan
hundred
film.
percent. It should be
Yeah,
like because again, this movie walked so Cabin in the Woods could run. Like it just is such a part of this uh
genre.
genre and like
Yeah,
in like an educational kind of way. Like let's look at this, break it
like
all
respect your elders. Kind of way too. Remember, I used to say that a lot, Alec. Respect
down.
your elders in
yeah.
some ways. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
this is, I don't think there's any validity to this, but I did read online that someone said that Eugene, the older man, he's the killer from Black Christmas
Yeah.
from 1974. Someone said that. I don't think there's no like the director hasn't been like that's right, but I think people have like
I watched a YouTube recap and they brought that up.
Ah.
I don't know who said it, but
yeah. It'd be
it's out there.
interesting. They should have
Yeah.
probably nailed that down because that would have been pretty cool to know
That
like
would have been sick to see him with like a machete in the corner or something, or like,
yeah.
just
Well, then you
some.
gotta pay you gotta pay rights, but he could like be like, I was the second killer in Black Christmas, like or something. Like he
Just
could have just
something. I don't
threw
know.
some line.
But
Yeah,
yeah, so overall, fantastic rec, Matt. Thank you so much for coming on
yeah,
and
man, this
walking
is a
it
fun
through
one.
this with us. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So appreciate the rec, dude.
Yeah, thank you. It felt good to bring a movie to you guys. That was like, so I mean, after what, 5 years of you guys being like, all right, man, watch this random shitty movie and being like, all right, sick. Like, I have a movie that neither of you have seen. Like, that felt after 5 years and whatever, a dozen times on here. I was like, oh my God, I finally got something. I got one for them.
You're
So,
like, watch this random shitty movie, guys. Right?
yeah,
Like,
it was just like, you guys have built such like oh, it's like, oh, you want to stump the trivia guy. It was like, oh, I got
you
one for
stumped
you.
us. You stumped us. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Can I read the
Thank
stats
you.
real quick, Alec, before you kill me about editing?
Yeah.
This came out March 12th, 2006. It's an hour 32 minutes. Its budget unknown. Couldn't find it anywhere. Box office made only 70,000 because it was only in select theaters. Critic Rotten Tomato score was 76%. Audience score was 74%. So this is well received by critics and audience members from yeah, for what it is.
70,000. That's
That's insane. Like
yeah, that's like
that's like 80 people see
76,000?
this. Yeah, like, that's really bad.
that's like what
I
a
think that's why we didn't get our sequel that I thought there was.
yeah.
So
That's like less than like what a barista at Starbucks takes down. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. I just they probably couldn't get a distributor, so they just had to go to theater and be like, "You want to try?" And
And
then
it was a first time director, first time writer,
yeah,
also.
yep.
well, I just
So
gave them $4 and Jeff Bezos, so
Well,
there you go.
I know we've mentioned this before, but the fact that Robert Englund and Kane Hodder were like, I'll do it. Like they're at this point, like they were pretty popular. I mean, not like super popular, but like they probably could have called the shots a little bit. Like, I don't want to do this, but they're like,
yeah.
yeah, all right, like I'll do it. You
I'm
know?
sure if there's something worth it and fun and get to enjoy horror again without all the bells and whistles of like I got to put on the mask, I got to do all this shit. Sure, why not?
Yeah, yeah,
Be a part of this world you've helped create.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Zelda's in it? Girl, Zelda's in this? I'm gonna be there.
Zelda,
Four
Zelda.
foot three.
This is her last movie. She
Yes, it was.
died. Yeah, she died a couple years after this, so that was her
I
final
think she's
on.
only 74, 76. I forgot the number, but
Yeah.
yeah. I think she
Well,
was 4'3" too. I had to
yeah,
Google that myself.
yeah. Well, Eric, what do you say you spin the wheel?
Let's spin it. I didn't fill this out, so I'm gonna spin this and this at the same time. Uh-oh.
Oh my God. The final of the original Halloween series. We're finally doing it. So this is going to be a week. This is gonna be a week. Let's go. All right.
I think I've seen that one.
Oh,
It's
don't.
you've never
Don't,
seen the
Matt.
Trick or Treat, motherfucker. You've never seen that with who's it,
Busta
Exhibit?
Rhymes?
Or who's the rapper in that one, Eric?
Busta Rhymes?
Oh, it's Busta Rhymes, yeah.
Busta, yeah.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yeah, Matt,
Karate
just
chops.
watch the first 4 minutes of this movie and you'll figure everything out that you need to see.
It's so bad.
It's a
Um,
doozy. Yeah.
Wow. It'll be fun to talk about. Well, Matt, thanks again for coming on. And
Thank you guys.
thank you all for listening in. And thank you all for listening to our conversation on Behind the Mask, the Rise of Leslie Vernon. And we'll see you all next week with Halloween Resurrection.
Thanks, Matt. Woo!